This is Woodside Church Youth.
Good morning, my name is Andy Gibbons. Welcome to another one of these youth talks online on Sunday. I hope you've been enjoying the series of the fruits of the Spirit, and I hope you've been sort of putting the practical elements that we've been talking about into practice. If you haven't had a chance to look at the fruits of the Spirit yet, the talks are on YouTube. Just feel free to scroll down the YouTube channel. If you're not a youth member here, you are still welcome to watch these talks. We trust that what we say on them will help you in whatever way as well. So we will start off by looking at Galatians 5:22, as we do every single week. An incredible verse full of such truth, so we're going to listen to that now. If you've got a Bible, read along. If you don't, just follow the verse on the screen. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. So what do we mean by gentleness? Gentleness effectively means to be kind and careful. It's a quality that you would describe someone who is calm, soft, and mild-mannered. And it's a quality that the Bible views as a strength. If you are gentle, you will put others before yourself. And it's something that God looks at in you, and it's something that is seen as a gift in you as well. There are a few Bible verses that I'm going to read out that I hope highlight why gentleness is important. First verse says in Philippians 4 verse 5, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." That means that other people should see gentleness within you. They should be able to identify that you are gentle, that you are kind, selfless, you put others before yourself, and you're soft and mild-mannered. Colossians 3 verse 12 says, "Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and clearly loved, clothe yourself with compassion, kindness, gentleness, and patience." Titus 3 verse 12 says, "To slander no one, to be peaceable and considerate, and always to be gentle towards everyone." We are called to a life of gentleness. We are called in our walking everyday Christian life to be gentle towards other people. It's important. It's what God says in His Word, that we need to do that every day, even in lockdown, even when we're not allowed to. Our movement is limited, our freedom is limited. We are called to be gentle in everything that we do. And so I'm just going to set out 4 points about how we can be gentle, how we can get this gift of the fruit of the Spirit that we've just been talking about. So, the first way that we can practice being gentle is thank God every day. Lean into Him and rely on His strength, and remind yourself every day of everything that He has done for you. Part of being gentle is being humble before God. When we are humble before God, we realise that it is not on our own strength. We don't rely on our own strength, but we rely on God's strength, and God's strength to get us through different situations. And so when we are gentle, we realise that God is in control and we need to submit to him. Second point would be to use Jesus as your role model. If you want to see someone that was incredibly gentle, Jesus is the perfect role model to use. We read in various different verses about how he interacts with people. Mark 10:13-16 talks about Jesus interacting with children, and you see his gentleness come through really, really well, his kindfulness. Matthew 8, when he heals the leper, somebody that was a social outcast to society, and you see his gentleness there. John 13, verse 1-17, where Jesus talks to a Samaritan woman at the well. Again, he was being gentle and being kind towards somebody that other people might not have been kind towards. And it's just read those verses, submit yourself, just read around what Jesus was like and what he did in his life. He was an incredible role model about how to be gentle towards other people. The third point would be careful with anger. Be slow to anger. People who are gentle often don't get angry very easily. And it's something that sometimes it is good to be angry. I could do another whole mini talk on this. But just be slow to anger. If that is something that you struggle with, just pray to God that he will give you strength not to get angry in those situations. Somebody that is gentle doesn't normally get angry, or gets angry for the right reasons rather than the wrong ones. And then final point is just ask yourself at this moment in time what you can do for someone else. Maybe you know someone that is going through a hard time at the moment, or someone that has COVID-19 at the moment. Maybe you can ask yourself, what can I do? And pray to yourself, what can I do for someone else? And God will give you, if you pray to God, what can I do? God will give you someone, or give you an idea of what you can do for someone else. So, that is gentleness. Gentleness is the quality of being kind and careful. The Bible calls us to a life of gentleness. It calls us to putting others before ourselves. And the way that we can do that better, the way that we can practice that better, thank God, remind yourself that he is responsible for everything. 2, reflect on how Jesus was gentle. How Jesus interacted with people, how he put people before himself. 3, be slow to anger. If you struggle with anger, pray about that. And then 4, ask yourself, what can I do for someone else? So we're going to pray to finish, and I'm going to lead us in prayer. Lord God, I thank you that you are an incredible God, that you are a God that loves his people. I thank you that you love each one of us, and I pray that you will help us to be gentle. I pray that you will help us to be kind and careful, particularly at this time where kindness speaks volumes. And I pray that you will help us to do that. I pray that you will speak to us about different ways we can do that. I pray that you'll give us creativity to do that in different ways. In Jesus' name. Amen. Remember in this time to rely on God's strength, to pray for God's peace upon you. You will go through difficult days, but use God's strength and peace to get you through every single situation that you might be faced in. If you're worried or scared, talk to him. Talk to him. Pray to him. Give all your worries and strengths to him. Much love. We will see each other soon, I know. But have a good rest of your Sunday.